Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to make a card using one of these folders from Crafter's Companion. It's a 3D embossing folder and die set. And we're going to pair it with the Swan Lake collection from Diamond Press. I mean, the best thing about these products is that you can mix and match and come up with a new idea. And it's fun. I mean, that's what you get them for, right? So you can kind of do whatever you want. All right, so we're gonna use this, and then we're gonna make a 7x4 card. I wanted it to still fit in the 5x7 envelope, but make it a little smaller than 5 inches. We're going to use some paper that I printed. I have a lot of cardstock that has patterns on it, but it didn't have the pattern that I wanted. So I kind of found something and just printed it out. Also, if you have like a printer that has a scanner, if you have a favorite piece of fabric or whatever, you can test that out, scan it, and print it and see how that looks. Sometimes those textures and those different colors and whatnot will come out different in the printer, which will make it interesting as a background. So think outside the box sometimes, and sometimes you can just economize a little bit of money by printing your own pattern paper with what you have at home, right? Okay, enough of that. We're just gonna cut some panels out. Let me get a white card for our base, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna start off with our white card, and I just found out that I'm almost out of white paper. Ooh, that's scary. We're gonna cut this at 7 inches. Now I already know that on my guillotine that the 7 inches is just about there. So I'm just gonna trim that down. Let's put that to the side. And then we have to cut it at 8 inches. Let's put it at 8. Make sure we butt that up, because if not, it's going to cut crooked. And then I know I'm going to need a strip for the other part of my card, and I think I'm going to cut that at 1.5 inches. So let's just do that now, and then we could trim it if we need to. Put that away, waste nothing. Okay, so our back panel, I think I want it in blue. So we're gonna cut that at a teeny bit. It's not even 1/8 of an inch left, smaller than 4 inches. It's just a tad. And the same thing on the 7-inch side. Okay. So we have that. I might need this later, so put that to the side. Okay. Everything starts coming together, and then we're going to use this color. This one I'm gonna cut at 3.25, but I'm gonna cut it at 4 inches for now, so I could trim off this side. So I'm gonna just turn this and cut it at 3.25. That'll give me a border of 1/8 of an inch on all sides. So, and then we're gonna cut this at 6.25 and 3/4. I'm sorry. So we should have like 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, and I think this one we're gonna have to cut it down as well. So we'll do the same thing. Okay, so again, I don't know if I gave the dimensions to this one, well enough. So it's 3 3/4 by 6 3/4. Okay. And this is 1.5 by 6 3/4. And I think I'm going to need a strip of the blue. So let's bring that back in. And since I cut the white at 1.5, I'm going to cut this one at 1 3/4. And we're going to cut it as well on 6 3/4. Okay, so everything is coming together. We have that going on. That'll go on top of here. And cute. Okay. So we have layers. I'm not going to put them on foam tape. I'm not going to do any of that. So we're going to have the illusion of the layers without the bulk. So we can still run it through regular mail. Because, well, maybe not. Because the flowers are going to add some height. So, but we'll try. All right. Let's bring our scoreboard in. Let me move this to the side. And then we're going to score our card base at 4 inches. You can pre-buy your card bases. If you have a 5x7, just cut it down to a 4x7 and you'll be good to go. I kind of like my own card bases because I want them thicker. I'm kind of a card snob. And I like my card bases to be firm. Even though if you have a thinner one and you add layers, you'll be fine. But I don't know, it's just the way my brain works. Okay. See, I don't use this paper much for this. And I noticed that it cracked a little bit. The paper that I normally use that I'm out of, it doesn't crack like that. But we're going to use it anyway. Okay. So I think we have everything that has to do with the card base done. And if you wanted to, you could glue these pieces down, except this one, which I think that's where I'm going to put my sentiment. All right. So let's put these to the side. And let's bring out our flowers. Or maybe we could cut this out first. All right. I played with this one already. I just wanted to see how some of them stamped. And it's a really cute set. Okay. I want to use this die. And I want to use these guys. Just 2 swans. I'm not going to cut out any of the other stuff because the flowers are going to cover a lot, so I don't think we're going to need it. And then we'll decide on the sentiment in a little bit. Put that off to the side. But this die set comes with this die. It says Mom. It's nice size. If I was going to make this card a little longer, then I would have used it, right? Because I don't think with this die, the Mom would fit. No, it wouldn't. But if it was longer, maybe if I did your regular size slimline card, then it would have fit. But we're not doing that today. All right. So we're going to cut this out of blue. And then we could stamp these guys out. I'm going to stamp them off camera. I mean, I've done that tons with you guys. So I think it'll be fine just to cut them out and then we'll just color them together. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to use this pink paper to cut our flowers out. I already took the dies out. And we're going to use the English rose. So I'm just going to cut a piece of my pink card. And we're just going to cut some of these petals out. I think I want 2 flowers for this project. 1 big flower, 1 small flower. Okay. I'm using my Sizzix Big Kick. Because I think this is the one that the embossing folder is going to fit to. All right, I don't think I need another big one, so we're going to put that one to the side, and we're just going to cut some of the smaller ones. You know what? I'm just going to cut 2 more of this one. Okay. And then we'll run it through one more time. Forgot to bring out my pokey tool. Okay, 1 more of these, and we're good with the flowers. Okay. All right, let's poke that one out. So we have those, and now we need a couple of leaves. And let's see what colors I brought out. I'm going to use the darker one for these and a lighter green for the smaller ones. So, cut a piece of my lighter green out. And I should have gone into my box of scraps because I know I have tons of these things lying around. Just creating more scraps. Okay. Let me cut those out first. One. Ooh, very delicate. All right, we have that. Now we're going to cut 3 of the light yellow. The light green. Okay. And these cards do have, like, this one has a different texture. This is more like a linen card, but I think that'll be fine. It's okay to mix textures. All right, we have that done. I need to buy the smaller plate on the bottom. It takes forever to run this thing through. All right. So we have those done, and now we could put them through to emboss, which I'm going to use. I need to get rid of this plate. I kind of took the bar off of this just to make it easier to run this thing back and forth. And we're going to use this plate I did test while I paused to see the combination that will work for this. And I have to use a paper shim, which is a regular copy sheet, then one thick layer of card, which I don't know what I did with it. Oh no. Okay. Let me find something. I'll be right back. Okay, so I just put it off to the side so we can see what we're doing. And I didn't want to waste a piece of thick card, so I'm going to use 3 pieces of copier paper. And hopefully that'll give me a good impression. So I'm just going to find, just like they did on their tutorials, where these guys fit. And we're just going to run it through our machine. Don't move. Okay. Our little guys. Okay. Okay. I found it hard to do it on the flat side. I don't know how people do it on the raised side. Okay. That's it. Let's just close it. Okay, it's closed. So we're going to put this on our platform, just like that. And then we're going to add our paper shims to the top of it. There's 3 of them. Could have taken out my Gemini because I mean they make it to fit their machines, but didn't do that. So, and I just want to run this through. You're not going to feel a lot of pressure like when you're die cutting, but you just need a little bit of grip. And let's take this out the way. Okay. Yes. Look how pretty. If you wanted to, you could ink them. I want a soft look, so I'm not. I think the texture is enough for my project. Wow. I like that. I do think next time I'll run like the flowers first and then do the leaves just to have a little more control so they don't move. Okay. So now we're going to start bringing everything in. I'm going to pop all these out and I'll be right back. Okay. So we can start putting our card together now. And I'm going to use my art glitter glue. Let me see. I should have checked this before I came back. Oh, this glue. I'm almost out of it, so I can't use my big bottle. And now it's like fighting with these little bottles. It's just my favorite glue. Everybody has their preference. Like, I've tried the Nouveau glue recently, and I just can't get the hang of it. I'm so used to this one that I guess I'm a glue snob too. All right. Okay. Looks good. And I'm not going to add this strip yet because I need to stamp on it. But I am going to glue these two together just to give it a little more height. So let's see if it stamps easier. Even though if I mess it up now, I have to do this all over again. Okay. And my paper is crooked, so I'm gonna actually trim that off. I'll find a stamp and we'll be right back. Okay. Then we're gonna use this stamp. I use this on another card. It's a very pretty sentiment. And I'm just measuring where I should put it. And I think right there is good. So let's go ahead and stamp that down. This tape. Okay. We can also emboss this if we want. Should we do that? Yeah, why not? Let me get my Nouveau embossing powder ready. We can use that same card that we used. I mean, the same paper we used as a shim to pour our excess. Let me cover this so it doesn't get hard again. And let's go ahead and do that. All right. Some of that, but too much. And then we're gonna stamp with the Versafine. Should have put the shim under it before I do this, but I'll try to be careful. See how that works. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna stamp it one more time. I don't need to, but I'm just gonna do it so I have enough for the embossing powder to adhere to. And I'm just gonna pour that carefully on it. Okay. Now it's time to be careful. Perfect, everything is covered. You can add a little more if you want. Okay. I'm just putting away the excess. Can't waste. Okay, I'm gonna, my embossing tool is not close to here, so I'm gonna get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's nice and shiny now. Cute. Where's my card? And now we could glue this down. Let's get our glue. And for everyone who thinks that these glue pads don't last a long time, this is my first Versafine. I've had this for years. Okay. Okay. Let's make sure we have it on the right way. And now you're kind of gonna eyeball it. Let's see. Cute. Okay, let's assemble. We can put this guy here. And what we're going to do is that we're going to assemble the flowers. We're not going to add them in yet, but we are going to assemble them. And then we're going to go ahead and color our swans. Maybe there. Yeah, that's good. So again, you're just adding layers without adding actual layers. I didn't want this to be totally glued down. I want to have some shadows and stuff going under there. So I think that's good. All right. So we can start putting these guys together. I'm not going to push on them or anything until they are fully adhered. Just because I think I don't want to bend them too much. So doing it once, it will be better. Just trying to see how I want this to go. I think there's fine. So all I'm going to do is put this down, and then I'm going to press a little bit, and we're going to get our other petal, figure out where we want it to go. That's fine. And now I am going to push just a little bit here, just to make sure they take. And we're going to do the same thing with the little ones. Okay. Maybe there. And then press a little bit. And we're going to let those dry. So we can work on these two little guys while those dry. Let me get some markers and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is going to be super easy coloring. We're going to use the orange for the beaks, the magenta for the cheek. We could just do that now. And that's that. And then the gray just for a little shadowing. I did not do the best job of die cutting this, but I don't think it's going to matter because the flowers are going to be covering a lot. So let's just go ahead and shade these guys in. I'm just going to add a little bit here, a little bit there, just under the places where I would think there would be some shadows. Maybe a little bit here. Oh, my gray is going kaput. I think it'll give enough for this project. Okay. Let's put a little bit here. It looks a little rough right now, but I'm going to blend it out just to soften the edges of these. So I don't think it is going to make a huge difference. We're going to do the same thing to the little one. And to the little one, we don't have to add as much. Just a little here and there. And we're good to go. It's just tricking the eye into thinking there's more dimension. Okay. That was probably overkill for the little guy, but it's fine. Do the same thing to the mama. Okay. And again, with this one, I stamped it using alcohol proof ink, so that's gonna work. And now let's do the little beaks. Let's do the lighter color first. A little bit of the dark, very little. Medium. That'll fix some of my oopsies. And the light tone. Now on the mama, I went a little bit off, so I can bring my blender in and fix that. I mean, it's so small you can't see it, but every mistake is an opportunity to teach, right? Because that way you guys don't make my mistakes. And I was thinking with these guys, we can kind of overlap them. That's cute. And then they can go somewhere here. I do want them coming off of that doily. So I think right there. Ooh, we could bring her beak out. That's cute. And again, I'm not adding any dimensions. You can if you want to. If you're going to give this in person, by all means. But if you're going to mail it, don't add too much. And I'm going to add glue here. And under the little beak. Just to hold everything in place. I don't need to glue her down. And then we can put glue on the back of it. Okay. So let's take our characters and we just got to see where exactly we want them to land. And maybe right here. Yeah. That's cool. And push it up a little bit. All right. Now we can start putting our flowers in. See, it's dry now, so now I'm going to pop up the petals. And since I didn't do it before, I think it's going to stay up. Okay. And now we can figure out where these guys are going to go. So cute. So maybe this one down here. This one a little higher. And then we could use the leaves to fill in all these gaps. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay, let's glue this one down first. Right there. And then we can put these guys under. Or you could do it the other way around. Whatever works best for you. And this is what I meant by it didn't matter if you were a little off, because all this is going to cover most of it. Okay. Okay. We can add some of the yellow, the green, the light green. Maybe one there and one there. Yeah. Or the opposite way. Maybe one on that side. And one on this side. But I'm gonna put Let's use this one. I'm just going to cover some of this blue here. Okay. Let's put some on this guy. Okay. And then we could cut this one up because I think it's going to be too much. So let's cut it up. Maybe use the bigger one here. Okay. Do we want the yellow going this way? Let's see. Kind of like trying to balance everything out here. Yeah, maybe like that. All right. I might go ahead and cut this guy off because it's going to add too much bulk. Let's add some glue to this one. So on this side I had the light green on top, and here I have it on the bottom. Just add the flower. And now we can add some embellishments. I think I'm going to use the micro beads for the top. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to add some glue. And I think I'm just gonna make sure that it covers the whole bottom. Doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm gonna pour some of these guys on. And then we can just kind of pour off the excess. And there we have it. Cute card. I'll add some glossy accents to this, and then I'll take some pictures and put it up so you guys can see. I love the way it turned out. So, I mean, that's just an idea of just using your different, it doesn't have to be the same company brand. Like, you use all of your products, and you can mix and match and make some cute designs. So I hope this helps you. Like, think a little bit outside the box. I know I don't think that much outside the box, but you know. And I used the blue because I wanted to mimic water, right? Give the illusion of water, but you can use whatever colors you want. Cute card. All right, guys, I'll talk to you real soon.